Hey, what is up, everyone? It is Rich. All right, welcome to the continuation of our Halloween week special, where we look at what I would consider really excellent horror artists. Talking in very broad terms here, but I on Sunday am gonna do a big show, probably 2 hours worth of art, and I kept trying to think of who I could do today, and there's lineages in art, and Phil Hale is an incredibly important art who's highly influential to some of the artists that will be in the Sunday video. So I figured might as well go to Phil. We'll explore Phil's work today in quite in depth, and then it'll it's we'll be able to create the family tree of how Phil's work has impacted people like Ashley Wood, Lee Bermejo, Peter that we looked at yesterday. Lots and lots of artists are inspired and influenced by Phil's work. So anyway, I've got images that I pulled off of Yandex this morning, which is like Google, just image searches. I actually went through Phil's Instagram. I also went through 5 external hard drives and pulled folders that I had saved over the years. So we have a lot of art to look at. I've been a fan of Phil's work since around 2001. So, pretty long time fan, honestly. And his work is actually very, very influential to me. We'll talk about all that stuff as we get into it. So, all right, let's go. Let's do it. So this is Spectre Painting. I figured I would start it off with something kind of comic booky. It'll give you a sense of the scale that he works at sometimes. And, yeah, very, very cool piece. And, let's just go. Okay, so this is Johnny Badhair. These are sketches. So Phil's actually got several books. Let me do this really quick. Do this. All right. So, Double Memory is one of the earliest books. I have not seen A Monster at Christmas, so I don't know what that is. But anyway, Double Memory is a book that he did with an artist named Rick Barry. Really, really cool book. I actually don't own it, but I've seen it, and it is actually really good. So Goad was the first book that I had. He actually has, these, Mockingbirds. I was going to say I had 2 other books, and then Life Wants to Live is his most recent. Well, I guess not. I guess Let's Kill Johnny. I haven't seen Let's Kill Johnny. I assume it's a collection of the Johnny Badhair paintings. Life Wants to Live is incredible, but anyway, the Mockingbirds and Goad were sort of the 3 books that I had the longest. So anyway, I just wanted to show that just so you guys had it. So anyway, his sketches are really, really incredible. He doesn't really do much underdrawing, and as far as I can tell, generally goes right into the line work. You'll see it a lot in Goad. There's a section of pencil drawings, and it's pretty phenomenal approach. But I as I've drawn more myself over the last few years, I understand that this is actually quite obtainable, and I'm not saying that what Phil does is easy by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that, people, I see it online. You have these people that are aspiring artists that want to debunk everything. They go, it's like this and that, and he uses a light box and blah blah blah. It's like when you learn to draw well enough, things like this, putting drawings down like this. I've watched Lee Bermejo do it many, many times at shows. They understand form. They've drawn a lot, and this stuff you can pull this right out of thin air. So, and now we have artists like Kim Jung-ji that show it. Anyway, so this is a nice painting. Really, really beautiful colors. He's great with hands. He has this very almost like crawly flesh that he does, where they're I don't know how you would describe it. Let's go into full screen mode while we look at these. But yeah, he uses almost like angular shapes for building up some of the flesh and stuff like that. It's very kind of corpse-like, which is good for a Halloween show. This is one of the Life Has to Live. Guys, pieces were so great. I remember I hadn't seen his work in a little while, and I Googled him just to see what he was up to, and I saw a couple of these pieces, and I was like, oh my god. The book hadn't come out yet, but man, this was like next level stuff. But You know, you see this influence on a lot of concept artists. I would say that any of the darker ones, they all like Phil's work. You know, it's really really difficult not to. I actually briefly read an interview with Phil right before I did this. I had saved it on like a notepad file, and he said that the part of the way that he works at times is just for years he's saved imagery, and he takes a lot of his own photos, to be clear. So, but he would just save imagery from the internet, and you know, some of that creeps into I don't know if studies or paintings, but again, if you do enough studies, then when you get to the real piece, you already have kind of a familiarity with what you're approaching, and you don't really need the reference at that point. You know, if you do a very very detailed um, work, and you know, it can really help you through creative drawing, and that's kind of the goal of studies. So this is really really interesting. It's so weird, like seeing like this person is, it's almost like it's so crazy that you don't see the other person like holding them. Very very disturbing. It's really really cool. I love how what would you call it, like, not decomposed but deconstructed, like the pieces. It's like you get bits and pieces of like folds, and then it just vanishes and you see the background. Really really cool. The color of the blood is like creepy and weird. John Constantine. This is a Hellblazer cover. He did some covers for an English company before. You know, they might have been Johnny Badhair pieces. I was trying to figure out what it was, but I remember there was some magazines that like kind of like a heavy metal style magazine that he had done some work in, and they were really really cool. He got better, and then in I guess probably the early 2000s he started doing a small body of work for DC. So there's a couple of Batman covers, Swamp Thing, and these. So here's this. It's nice. She's really really cool looking. Love the pants. Again, you can see that real strokey approach that he uses, where it's like so they're kind of like pointy lines, um, almost like feathery or something. It's really interesting, and he really gets a creepy flesh vibe on it. It's almost like dehydration. This is really good. Yeah, it's great actually. This is a photo I saw online. Pretty sure it's Phil. We'll see. We're gonna get into like, and this is a photo of him in one of his studios. I don't know if this is the only one that he has. It's cool. That looks actually like a little dangerous. That's not a real thick shelf. Hopefully those support beams are strong. Man, that's crazy. I'm friends with Aaron Weisenfeld, and I visited his studio, and he's got a loft like in his studio, but it's much more supported, and it looks like it goes back further. But yeah, that's a very thin shelf. Be careful, Phil. I don't want you to get hurt. Man, this is cool. I had never seen this photo before. I did actually meet Phil Hale one time at Comic-Con, and I had actually brought my books, which is super super rare for me. I don't. Oh gosh, darn it! I shut it. It's all right. It'll be in. What the fuck is going on? Oh, a button was getting pressed on my thing. Let me just do this really quick. What's these? Or no, this. Let me just grab these. Okay. Button was getting pressed on my thing, so it was shutting. But yeah, I never ever really bring comic books to get signed, and I didn't even know if Phil was going to be there, but just on the off chance that he was, the books were small enough to fit in my backpack, so I brought him, and he signed Goad and the Mockingbird books for me, which was cool. I was pretty nervous meeting him, to be honest. It was a little like, I went to the Jonathan Levine gallery booth, I think that's what it was, and he was there, and I was like, oh shit, I'll go get my books. But I was super nervous to ask him. He was very nice though. This is cool. These are great pieces. Very very influential. You when you see these kind of leaping figures and stuff like that. I mean, Phil definitely planted the seed for a lot of imagery for people. So we saw that. We saw that. I'm nearly sure I'll have this without the Russian like watermark on it, but this is pretty cool. All right. This is really nice. This was done for, I think, Flinch, the DC kind of Vertigo book. He did a few covers for Flinch. They're actually quite nice, but this is great. Man, this is really, really cool. It actually looks like Phil, funny enough, now that I'm seeing it after just seeing his picture. And the fingers are great. And just the blackened fingertips and stuff like that, it's so weird. So cool, though. I feel like there was a lot of Phil Hale videos on YouTube. That was another reason that I kind of was like inspired to do it, was the world could always use more Phil Hale. This is cool. There's a lot of studies online that you'll find too. You have to be kind of careful if you're, well, not, you know, it's not going to hurt you, but it just, I noticed when I was grabbing stuff. So let's go to this. This is one of my older folders. So we'll have all kinds of stuff in this. We'll see. Sometimes back in the day, if I was saving files, there's other stuff that might sink into the folder depending on what I was up to. So we'll see what's going on. Oh, these are really small. Shoot. I don't know what I got these from. Let's see. This looks like there's quite a few. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the neat thing about if you were a file saver way back. A lot of this stuff is gone from the internet. You know, they say everything stays on the internet forever, but I don't really find that to be true. I mean, even Internet Archive is limited in terms of what it can access. So, you know, although you may be able to find some renditions of this stuff, there's all kinds of stuff that I've saved over the years, screenshots that are just, you know, from 15, 20 years ago now that are pretty interesting. So let's see what we've gotten here. Should be cool. And again, I believe it's all Phil Hale. Look, there might be some photos and stuff like that that aren't his stuff. Oh yeah, I remember this piece. So if they're real small scans, I might my photos. It's just like, yeah. All right. And again, this looks like Phil to me, honestly. Really, really cool. This was another sort of thing. I'm gonna get a color that we can see. Phil would do this thing with the hands that was pretty identifiable to his work. I mean, it's kind of like the corpse hands, where like almost like rigor mortis or something had set in. You get these like crazy, sort of, I don't know what you call it, like just very contracted hands. This is cool. This might be Rick Barry and Phil. I mean, I think this is from the Double Memory book, if I'm not mistaken. Some of this stuff reminds me of Rick Barry a little bit. But if you ever see photos of my desk at Wildstorm, really throughout any of the years that I was there, you'll always see 2 or 3 Phil Hale paintings that I had hanging up. I'll point them out if I see any of them. But yeah, you know, I had very limited wall space, but it was always important for me to have a couple of Phil Hales up. Oh, this is great. This is a cover for a comic. I can't think of... This might have been a Flinch cover. I can't remember what it was. Really, really awesome, though. This makes me think of Steve Houston. You see boxers, and you immediately kind of go to Steve Houston. Look at this right here. It's great. So, I'm going to apologize, although I probably don't need to, but I was a little nervous doing this video because I think people, Phil's fans, I respect, and I don't want to do a video and be stupid. I'm one of those people where you're like, why is this guy even doing a video on this artist? He doesn't know shit about him. This is actually a much nicer scan than the other one we were looking at, but you know, I'm just a fan of Phil's. I'm not gonna say more, but anyway, but yeah, so if I say stupid stuff, my apologies in advance. This is great though, man. You can really see the paint on this, and I didn't even notice the red on the other one. Who knows that? What is it, Kitty? You say that I don't need to apologize? Okay. What is it? Yeah, it's fun that you can see the paint strokes so much. Oh, here, let's go into full screen mode. And again, if the images start getting like a lot of them are really small, then we'll hop over to like another folder that I have. That's cool. I actually tried to do Phil Hale style painting many years ago. This it like looks like Phil, and then it kind of doesn't. It doesn't look completely done. I mean, I know the piece, to be clear. I'm saying that like that photo, that exact moment of it doesn't look like it might be completed. This is great, man. But yeah, I was getting into a lot of fine art in probably like 2008, and yeah, brought an easel in. My studio is very small, so I don't have a lot of room to like have stuff like that set up for a long time. It's and also because it's a small room, you're dealing with the smell, terps, and all that stuff. It can get a little rank. So if you're gonna do oil painting, best bet is to have a well ventilated and fairly large space you're gonna work in. The scissors are great too. You think so too, Kitty? Phil, not Phil. Ashley Wood owns at least one Phil Hale painting. I know he's a big fan. I don't ever picture Ashley Wood like being on YouTube, but Ash, if you ever see this, what's up, dude? I want to get that sculpture thing that you're gonna release soon. I'm excited. I'm nervous of what it's gonna cost and how big it is. So I need to make room, but I'm definitely buying one. This is cool. I don't actually remember this piece, funny enough. So Phil is an American artist, and he actually lives in London. And I, to be honest, when I read that this morning, for some reason, I didn't really realize that he was American, or didn't remember it. And that was kind of a trip. I was like, oh yeah, I guess he is American. This is so crazy. These pieces too, like what's super creepy about it's not just so much the imagery, it's this. We'll find a bigger scan of this. The way that he paints the flesh is so creepy and so disturbing looking. And like I said, if these scans are all leaning towards small, we're gonna get out of this. So I don't want to just look at small things. This is nice. Again, we'll call that the Phil Hale hand. Man, this is beautiful down here. Look at this. Man, that is nice. God dang. Going back and as I was getting ready to do this video, it reminded me of the time and how fun art was back then. And I saw someone had done a study of this. It was like the first thing that came up when I searched Phil Hale on Google, funny enough. But it was like a simpler time. Like, it sounds funny, but like art and the internet was actually kind of more fun. I mean, art's always fun, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. But I was thinking back to this time period and just going like, oh man, not everyone was brick. So this is interesting. Although this folder is, I thought, older. I mean, I guess this would be 7 years old. I'm surprised that these pieces are in here. The nice thing about these, though, is this is actually, it looks like possibly a photo of the original painting, just based on the shine here and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool because we're going to see a different iteration of it, you know, when you see it as a print or something like that. But can really see quite a bit more. This is great, man. Super creepy. Okay, interesting. I kind of remember these, but that's really interesting. So he'll do paintings of kind of normal everyday stuff, and sometimes what he'll do is like this is just for instance, like he'll have like a vacuum cleaner or something like that, but he'll juxtapose it with something else and do a painting of it, and he's got a decent amount of stuff like that. So I'm a big fan of Gerhard Richter. I don't know if people will know Gerhard Richter's work, but Richter is more known for abstract work now, but Richter used to do kind of photorealism and kind of deconstruct things and stuff like that. He's great. But it's not like there's a similarity to Phil, but I think that they were exploring similar ideas, which is just sort of irreverent. Like, photography can be weird. It's nostalgic, it's commercial, it's influential, and so artists will, you know, explore that and you know, shine lights on different elements of it. Oh, this is great. So if you remember on the P-Tour piece, the woman in the hallway, and also, like I said, I had mentioned Jeremy Geddes, but I mean, do you remember the woman in the hallway that was like kind of floating? So, in my opinion, I hadn't seen a lot of people doing stuff like Phil before Phil. So this is Kevin Llewellyn. So this isn't Phil Hale, but Kevin's great. He was a concept artist named Puddinhead for a while, but like I said, I had a hunch that there might be a few sort of different things in there. Um, Kevin's great. He's a really, really good artist. Really, really good. Okay. So here's some of Phil's photography, and you can see again. I mean, it's like he probably shoots most of these, if not all of these. But I mean, it's little pieces of just objects, and he would kind of put them together with tape and stuff like that. But you know, this won't necessarily be for everyone. Here's some of this. And these are in Gold, I believe. But although they might be in the Mockingbird book too. Nice stuff. I mean, this looks almost right out of one of his paintings. Man, that's cool. It's funny because that last piece actually reminded me a little bit of Anthony Jones. I had mentioned Anthony Jones' Robot Pencil. I'm sure he's a big Phil Hale fan too. Anthony, if you see this, what's up, dude? We actually spoke on the phone briefly. I don't know if you remember it, but you know, Anthony wants to do a graphic novel, and I was trying to encourage him to do it. And I said if he ever needed help, you know, getting the word out or even just doing it, that I could try to help him. Man, that's great. But yeah, Anthony will do basically like digital paintings that kind of look like this, of like creepy robot guys and all kinds of cool stuff. Oh yeah, this is Kevin Llewellyn too. This is a nice piece though. Nice painting. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go. We're gonna shut all these. Oh, that's nice. I'm trying to remember. So it says Hail Sean Edwards. Man, that's great. He was actually commissioned to do a portrait for the royal family. I don't know if that will be in here, but that's a pretty big deal. See, again, here's one of those sketches. It's just so cool, man. But like I said, someone that I know that actually lays down sketches like this is Lee Bermejo. Like, I've seen him do it at cons and stuff like that, and shared an office with Lee for many years. But yeah, he got real good at this. Just like, man, so badass. Okay. Oh, okay. And there's the photo. That's funny. I didn't even know I had it in this other folder. It's got a little bit of like a Francis Bacon sort of vibe. Bacon is real crazy. Ah, that's cool. So this is one of his comic book paintings then, I believe. Hail Epic. Okay, so it was Epic Comics that he was doing the stories in. I I think on Wikipedia, maybe it did mention it. Maybe I thought that there was a larger body of work is what it was. But you can find a couple of covers, and then he did some interior stories, you know. It's not bad, man. It's actually pretty damn good. Really good, in fact. Especially for as young as he was when he did these, the fact that he was actually able to paint sequentials like this. And again, what's interesting about this has that very... I'm working with an English writer on the Crystal Planet story, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 panels. And, you know, it's not uncommon for them to ask for way more panels. It's just an aesthetic that non-American comics have more, but it can really limit the size that you're able to work. I mean, like the amount of real estate on a page based on the dimensions. You can work any size you want. It's another sketch. Really nice. So this is interesting. I don't remember this piece. I sort of remember. Well, that was weird. Oh, I had the magnifying tool on. Brush. Just so I don't do that again. Yeah, I kind of remember this. I don't remember the rest of the piece though, but man, that's wild. This is cool. You can see this looks almost like it's done on wood. They're probably canvases, but it's two canvases. Even his color palette is pretty identifiable. There's certain themes that he uses that are uniquely him. And that's a big piece, man. Look at the shirt hanging, and then look at how big this is. I'm trying to remember which piece Ashley Wood owns. There's a photo, I think, on his Instagram of it, and it's like there's a staircase that goes up. It's more of a front shot, and it sort of sits like on the, you know, where you go up to the next stairs, but it's kind of hanging on the wall there. But it looks like it's about this size. I don't remember it having as much stuff. Phil stuff ain't cheap, that's for sure. It's cool. Troy. I think he did a little doodle in my book, come to think of it. I'm trying to remember. I think that I'll have to look. If there is, I'll snap a photo and throw it up on Instagram. I kind of wanted to do some follow-up images. A lot of times after I finish the video and watch it back, I'll remember something or think of something, and I should just use Instagram for that. These are cool. Like, I remember these. It's like totally like the prison jumper sort of vibe. I've seen that already. Oh, that's cool. I don't remember this. Yeah, I don't remember this piece at all. Looks like Phil. Colors, the application of paint down here feels like Phil. In particular, the colors. That nice blue kind of underpainting. I remember this. This might be for Dark Tower, like some of the Dark Tower stuff. I'm trying to remember if he did pieces for that. Looks a little like the Gunslinger. I mean, obviously, but I mean, I'm nearly sure that he might have done some stuff. So here's the piece again. Yeah, maybe this is the finished version. Almost looks like a trade cover, you know, like this would be the front of the book. In the back, you could put like people's names. Is this Phil? If this is Phil, this is early Phil. These colors do remind me of his early work, though. He was definitely using more of this palette, like right here in particular. I remember on some of the pieces. I haven't seen him in a long time, but the red and blue wasn't so far-fetched of a thing. Saw this. Oh, this is nice, man. So once we get into his Instagram, you're gonna see more of the kind of horror element. But I definitely think that he teeters on sort of psychological darkness. This is really crazy. I'm like trying to figure out what this is. This looks like an animal head right here. I think it's a corpse of something, maybe? I don't know. It looks like a fish, spider, bird. Whatever that is. Oh man, I don't remember this. This is pretty cool. Now this might be Rick Barry and Phil. Hale Ruff. Okay, maybe it's just Phil. Man, I don't remember this at all either. Baseball? And this other piece is crazy. Remember this lighting, because on Sunday, there's an artist in particular that I really like that's a contemporary concept artist. He uses a lot of Phil's lighting on his pieces. He's really, really good, and it's very, very cool. Yes, this looks like more Gunslinger stuff. Yeah, or is this is Phil? Hale Roland. Okay. Yeah, these are really interesting. I don't remember these. They're like you can kind of see is like feeling out sort of like this like not composition. I mean it's that too, but compositing ideas, meaning that like it's like it's like you want some crab in there, but you want a little spider, and then you want the weathered pants and the strong read of just like sort of almost like a silhouette of a trench coat or whatever it is. But you know, even for Phil, it took a little while for it all to settle in. This is great, man. These are so good, and this hollowed out mouth that he uses is really really wild. And again, this burnt flesh sort of black fingered look, I think is just really really cool. Man, it looks so weird. If you're into like corpsey art and weird stuff, you might like Jenny Saville. She's pretty hardcore. Her colors are much more bright than Phil. She's a phenomenal painter, though, well worth checking out if you're into pretty intense stuff. I mean, I would say like if you're sensitive, then you might not want to check her work out. But this is really wild. It's really kind of cool coming back and looking at this stuff after not a super long break, but I haven't really seen Phil's work like this quantity in several years. It's like, man, it's really wild. It's the Constantine piece, a little blurry scan. Did he do a piece for the Halo graphic novel? That's funny. It says Halo, so I don't know. No, the next one says Hale guitar, but I think he plays guitar. Oh no, this piece. Oh yeah, this is great. And this again it's so bizarre. Like this guy's face is just like it's total like corpse. Just man, so creepy. And his hands are great on the guitar itself. It's really really beautifully done. The pose is phenomenal. The whole thing, man, it's a great image. Man, that's so wild. Those deep shadows, man, just really, really make it powerful. That looks like Phil. These bottles are really painted nice. I love where you can see the little bit of amber color down here. And actually, even the table. Man, it's really, really good. Saw that. Oh yeah, this was one of the pieces I would sometimes have hung up. It just says Hail Clown. I don't know if that's the name of the piece. I'm gonna call it Pagliacci. No, I don't know. Let's go full screen. Man, the lighting on this is great. The luminance or illumination that he gets is so beautiful. In a way, it's. I could see that this maybe influenced the black drawings in some way. Like I said, I had done some pieces that I was kind of trying to sort of find my footing in a Phil Hale type landscape, and I did some pieces. One was called, well, I don't want to say the name because I'll use it later. But anyway, yeah, I think I definitely at one point was trying to pluck around Phil's ideas and layout ideas and stuff like that and see if I could find anything for myself. This is nice. I kind of don't remember this piece either. I didn't really focus too heavily on his comic covers. I know that for some people that might have been more of a this is what I want to see. But yeah, this is nice. I wonder if was this a published one? It's actually very cool. I do have a small batch of comics that Phil did the covers on. Man, it's really cool. Like Batman, it almost doesn't look like he's wearing a shirt. And there's this one again. The way that he would do the tattoos on flesh was great too. It's really nice. Oh yeah, I love this one. I used to have this one hanging up too for a while. Oh man, look at that. It almost does look like the same studio. I wonder if he's kept the same studio for a long time. You can see right here he's got like an air filter. It looks to be like an air filter. But yeah, you want to be careful if you're using the oils. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna shut all these, and we're gonna go into his Instagram. I'll go slower, so if you want to pause any of these, you can. I'm at school. I don't know if that's Phil. Oh, this is I have a hunch. There's an artist that I can't think of his name. I think his last name starts with a R. RF, something like that. He. Oh, I don't want to get into it. This is cool. Oh, look at all the drawings on the wall. Man, that's so awesome. Wow. Okay, that's creepy. If that's a real like lion head, man, that's really really badass. It's interesting. So I must have thrown stuff into this folder from different generations. Because there's no way that I saved this stuff way back. This was more recent. Like I said, as soon as I realized that he had done a new body of work that I hadn't seen, I was like all over it and going everywhere online, trying to figure out like how many pieces there were. Love this. This is actually really phenomenal. Really, really great piece. We saw this. This is nice too. I actually always really like this one. The contrast of the figure with this orange cone, or I'm not even really sure what it is that's hitting him. I always thought it was kind of like a cone of some sort, but I don't know. It won't let me rotate it. Yeah, I don't really know what the object is. And it could just be the light, like kind of fake lighting, trying to make it look orange. Although I don't know. It's hard to say. This is nice. Almost has a little bit of a Mobius feel. Oh man, that's really good. Lots and lots of sketches. I'm trying to remember what my sketch is. I think it's a figure of some sort. I'm dying to know. I'm like trying to see if those books are in here. I don't think they're in my office right now. It's funny, right? So these maybe are like the early Johnny but Bad Hair like stories. Oh, a lot of files open. Luca. All right, now let's get into the Instagram stuff. See what he's got going on. All right, we'll grab a big chunk of this. I don't really mind if this video goes long. Phil's worth it. If there's personal photos, we'll shut them quick. I mean, they're all on Instagram. This is all public stuff, but I hadn't really gone through his Instagram lately, and so I was kind of curious of what he's been posting, because it did look like there were some new pieces that I didn't necessarily catch on Instagram. So I thought it would be fun to see what we've got going on. There we go. Photoshop's like, come on, Rich, you're making me tired, bro. This will shut in 1 second. Just give it a minute. I can hear my fan turning on my computer. have been having computer trouble lately, though. I need to get a new computer. All right, come on, computer, don't be that freaking guy. All right, just give me the freaking warning so I can shut it or agree to it. This is bullshit. Anyway, I'll say this now while we're waiting for the computer. Like, if you have recommendations for Sunday, like I said, it's gonna be like a grab bag of lots and lots of different horror art and stuff like that. So all the recommendations that people have been giving me, I've been Googling them and then saving images, and so everything is gonna be in there. I've been slowly organizing it over the days. I mean, Phil does actually show that you can actually kind of come up with some fairly unique ideas that are really quickly identifiable as like his work. So, you know, we talk about the struggle of doing dark art or horror art and stuff like that and kind of coming up with an angle. They're still out there for sure. You know, you just have to kind of trust your instincts, figure out some iconography that's uniquely your own, and you'll be on your way. Color, you know, color choice, just these little shifts that you do can really make a big difference. This is Goad. If you don't have Goad, or really like any of his books, I would recommend getting them if you like this. His books are small. I keep waiting for kind of like an oversized like coffee table book. I would love to have something a little bit bigger. He tends to, for some reason, do smaller books. Is this him? I'm not sure what this is. This, I don't know who this is, but man, could be Rick Barry. These background paintings are beautiful. Oh, that looks like Phil. I don't know. I don't want to guess. He's having a nice lunch. Oh, that's cool. Oh man, that's great. Always fun to see photos of artists' studios and just get a little peek at like just the randomness that's sort of around them. I think it's always really fun. You catch a brush or a photo or just some book or something, and you're like, oh man, that's cool. He's got stuff. This van looks intimidating. It doesn't look like a van you want to take a ride in. Oh man, that's great. Okay. Oh wow. That's wild. Damn. I'm trying to remember if I've seen this. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. That's really wild. So when you look at Phil Hale's stuff, what kind of emotions does it bring up for you? I don't really get scared by his stuff. It's just kind of more cool looking. I mean, I guess it's somewhat disturbing, but I don't really get that vibe. So I don't know if he necessarily fits in the horror realm. It's cool. Man. Oh man, that's so cool. Damn. need to break this book out. I bought 2 copies of it. It's... Oh, that's cool. Man, look at these studies. Or whatever they are. Drawings, we'll say. Dude. That's crazy. I wonder what he's up to. Oh, yeah, that's the... We saw that briefly while I was shutting a bunch of images quick, and it sort of floated by. Oh, man, that's cool. This looks like a nice thick book. I'm going to have to check out what this one is. Hey, look, it's got the... Is it the same drawing? I think. No, I was going to say, they're real similar, but I was like, hey, that's the same drawing as there. Use this to kill. All right. How big is this book, Phil? Is it one of your little tiny books, or is it a biggie? I want something that's at least 12 by 12. Please. Although sometimes it is funny, because if a book is too big, then it's like unwieldy. Or like if they're super, like if it's thick, then it's heavy. Hard to hold with your hands. Very sensitive hands. I'm an artist. They're my money makers. This is cool. Man, this is really nice. Powerful hand. Really, really great form. It's... Man, it's got bone, muscle, just like veins. It's like, man, awesome. Pants look great too. Ooh. I kind of vaguely remember this piece. This is making me sad for the old days, although I guess this is all current stuff, but man, I'm telling you. 2005, 2006, 2008, 2009, that was a golden era of internet doing art and stuff like that. It just feels different now. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it'll evolve, and then 10 years from now I'll be going like, man, I missed 2022, 21. It was so fun. That's interesting. It's like trying to figure out if I mean, I guess it's a different piece. I don't know what this thing is that he made. That's really trippy looking. I need to go to his Instagram and spend some time and read all this stuff. Oh, this is great. Damn. Johnny Badhair has put on a little bit of weight. And he looks great. Oh man, it's cool. Crazy colors. This reminds me of like when a game, like have you ever seen the Red Dead Redemption videos where it's like got glitches and it's like loading weird, like just be like an arm pulling you across the ground. These are cool. These little boxes. What I like about them, it's not so much that the objects are on the thing, but they're very well painted. They're lit really, really cool. So there's like some really nice form with them. And they make them really pop, the like light and shade. Ooh, wow. I'm going to brighten this just a little bit, just so you can see it just a little better. Bovine. Oh, it's funny. It's right next to this hole, too. Careful, cow, you're going to fall. It's like, Rich, my head already fell off my body. Phil did things. It looks like he's stuck in barbed wire. Oy, oy, oy. Phil Hale, what are you up to? Oh, yeah, these are great. These are in gold. And probably the other book, too. Oh, man, that's crazy. Damn, that car's messed up. Jesus Christ. Ain't nobody getting out of that one alive. Whew. It's so brutal. Again, I'm going to brighten this just the tiniest bit so that we can see it just a little tiny bit better. My screen might be darker than yours. I actually watched yesterday's video back on my TV in the living room, and it was definitely brighter than my Cintiq monitor. I've never really, I calibrated it, but I've never like really gone through the whole process. I don't really digitally paint for print right now, so this is a great piece. I like this. It's funny because I bought an Aaron Weisenfeld original Team 7 page that has a building collapsed, kind of similar to this. But I bought it just because the building looks so cool. It was cheaper because it wasn't like a big, jerk shot of like a character. But I think there's a lot of skill involved in painting or drawing stuff like this. What are you up to? What is that, a horse? Yeah, it's a horse. Small, I was thinking it was a dog. Like, I don't know, the head had a dog vibe to me. But I think it's a horse. This is really trippy. Hold on, I'm brighten a little. Yeah, it's weird. Wow. Whoa, buddy, whoa. Oh, this is the black and white of that one painting. Oh, man, look at this. It looks like soccer players fighting outside of a crashed helicopter. And the sky is a Francis Bacon painting. And I don't know what this is. Is he holding something? This is trippy because this almost looks like a person's face, but I think it's too small. Or wait, well, I don't know. I can't tell if there's 3 people there too. Is that a person? I think it's one of those ones where everything's kind of blending together, but what is this? Yeah, this looks like a helicopter, but it's weird that it's upright here. Here, if I'm not mistaken, it's completely, like this is the top? This is some wild stuff. Alright, let's continue, friends. We've seen this a few times. I'm sure this is something way grosser than I know. It's probably like whale intestine or something. I'm just going to pretend like it's a fire hose. Okay, I remember these. Oh, man, that's great. Thanks for everyone that's been checking out the videos. I mean, it's, I'm doing it as much for you as for myself. I mean, I really enjoy looking at the art. It's a great excuse to go through just someone that I admire and just enjoy what they're up to, and then it's cool. Like, it creates conversations. People point out other artists. There's always interesting little tidbits that I get from the comments section. So I think it's a good thing. Also, I mean, just in the past, I remember for me, just as someone that enjoys YouTube, it's exciting when someone uploads a video with like a ton of art of someone that I like, or something like that, where it's like you're like, yeah, I like this too, and I always wish that there was an Ashley Wood video on YouTube. So like try to fill the need, but not really. Like I just do it because I enjoy it. It's not about like, oh, this is cool. Man, I don't remember this piece at all. It's interesting because this is like a little bit of a different painting technique. It's like he's pulling like the edges and then kind of making them sort of like not as defined. It's actually very, very cool. And and that's a really interesting thing, and I would assume that Phil at some point has probably goofed around in Photoshop or something like that. But for people that actually digitally paint and stuff like that, I mean, if you ever toy with the idea of ever going traditional, all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, I've got that one brush that can paint sparks in like 3 seconds, but how, if I'm doing it traditionally, can I translate these ideas like without layers and without this particular brush, like, that just can throw this shit down in seconds? Or, because I'm using layers, I can use masks and things like that. And so, it's interesting because I think that the longer that you work digitally, the problem solving skills don't have an opportunity to develop. Wow, this is really interesting. I've never ever seen these like robot pieces that he's doing. I actually don't know what they're for. They're really cool. I can see how many like iterations that he's done of it too. Wow. Damn. What the hell? I guess it's like a motorcycle frame. Jesus, that thing is heavy duty. But yeah, experiment, explore. I think I recommend to a friend of mine who's getting into like he's getting his first like sort of like legit computer where he can actually draw digitally and stuff like that. The thing is his concern was he's like, well, I don't want it to look digital, and I'm like, look, this is just use it as a learning tool, and it'll give you the an opportunity to have like a diverse skill set. You know, man, this bush is painted great. I wonder. There's like a part of me that wonders, like where he went to get some of the reference for these outdoor pieces. Because although I think that probably pieces of the ideas are from different sources, I would be curious if like he went out to the middle of the desert somewhere and like found a shack or something, and different objects. Like what was there and what has like been brought into it. Man, colors are great. I remember this. I believe that this is his father-in-law. It might be his dad, but it's funny as I actually kind of tried to study before I did this a little bit. But yeah, it's something like that. But there's so many great things about it. One. It's really really nicely painted. The lighting and stuff. There's a series of these, but man, I love the tan arms with the like whiter flesh. It's so good. That is just amazing. Man, what a great painting. This is cool. Oh yeah. So this was one of the ones that I always had hanging up. I love this piece. Oh my god, it's so good. Man, it's great. Oh wow, that's crazy. This is it's someone holding the nose. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, damn, that is so brutal. Okay, and this is this one. I'm like dying to know what this thing is. If someone knows, let me know in the comments section. I'm gonna be obsessed with it. It's like googling orange things you could throw. I mean, he may have listed on things. Oh, that's crazy! Look at this guy's jacket. That's funny. It's bright. Look at his shoes. It's like just seeing a leg in this position, it already reminds you of like a Phil painting. It's like, is this leg broken? What is going on? Oh yeah, it's cool. These look like maybe test prints of the book, because you can see it's not binded yet. So he's like looking at the reproductions and stuff like that. That's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to start wrapping this up because I do actually kind of got to get going with my day. Oh, this is really nice. Damn. So this is really interesting. This is, I'm going to speculate on this. I don't know this for a fact. This looks like it's maybe a page from an old book or something that he found, and then he drew the robot on it. That's my guess. Could not, I could be completely wrong. This might have been an old study that he did, but I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm going to go and refer back to his Instagram and try to read some of the things. There's not a ton of posts. About 230, I think, was on his Instagram, so it's manageable. This is great too. Yeah, these new Johnny Bad Hair paintings are actually very cool. Right, I believe them to be new. And here's the robot. Man, I'm sure Ash was like, yes. Yeah, it's great. God, man. I expect now for there to be a few hundred people that will be drawing more like Phil Hale for a moment. Give it a shot. Is that it? No. Oh, this is cool. Damn, nice painting. That's nice. Let's see something here. AR? Well, see if I could flip it. I guess I don't have the shortcut key set up in Photoshop right. I thought I did. Oh wow, I love seeing them hanging like that. Oh, it's so cool. This is great. It's such a. I love the like just the guys being carried off, but you can't see the other person, and even the other guy's head is like missing. It's super weird. Nice. Oh man, look at that. So that's interesting. This looks like it might be quite big sketch. This is a little pixelated. It's hard for me to tell if I'm gonna assume that these are painted onto the piece. Again, they're very, very cool. There's a lot of depth to them, and the actual shapes are really interesting because of the overlapping and stuff like that. But that is actually very, very cool. Know your enemy. I'm trying to think if this could be a water. I think this is maybe a watermark or something. Not watermark, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think that they're all on these paintings. So, still very, very cool. I'm gonna brighten this a little bit. Drums. Oh man, that's cool. The photo is reversed. Oh, that's cool. His robot design is actually very cool. I mean, we clearly saw that he worked real hard on it and tried many different like sort of versions of it. But man, this is really neat. That's funny seeing that one again. Oh wow, that's cool. Slipknot, no. It's Corey Taylor. What does Corey Taylor think of this painting? Oh my god. What on earth? This is wild. That's cool. Well, we definitely got our Phil Hale on today. If you need tentacle reference, here you go. Every tentacle position that you could ever want. If you don't see it here, then just draw it. You got this. I believe in you. So, okay. I'm going to get out of full screen mode and wrap this up. We'll try to end on something that is not too pornographic. No. All right, you guys have a great day. That was really, really fun. I'm actually, it was really neat seeing all that Phil Hale art. This colors on this are really, really awesome. And tomorrow I will do another video. Again, recommendations are very, very welcome. It helps me try to come up with an idea. And then Sunday is going to be the Wham Bam extravaganza with so much different art. It'll be a Halloween spectacular. Sorry, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.